All right, some of you guys may know David Weck. He created the Bosu ball along with a lot of other great inventions. And I have this guy on here, which I'm going to be running with today and give a shot to. It kind of makes me feel like I have a giant pair of tits.
I feel like a woman.
Or what I would imagine to be how it would feel to have a giant pair of tits. I'm just going to do like a normal run, but I think that, you know, David's intention with this is that it's not necessarily just for like long runs. So I'm going to see if I can speed up a little bit, maybe do some surges, maybe go a little faster here and there. And when I see a hill, I'll try to mess with that. And if I'm feeling good, maybe I'll do a little bit of jumping or something like that too. But here we go. Time to test her out. So with each step, I'm scrunching down these things that are oscillating in here. Because of the nature of running, it feels like it's pulling me like diagonally a little bit, which is really nice because I think that's what you want to do when you run. I've mentioned many times before, I think you want to push this way with your right leg and that way with your left leg. So when you run, you're kind of crisscrossing these two patterns. I'm going to hit this hill right here. That felt pretty good. The other thing is I have an additional 12 pounds on me. I think a lot of times people see stuff like this and they're like, oh, there's a gimmick. But something like this might be able to really teach someone to be explosive, because I think that people don't really, they have a hard time understanding what a really great athlete or a good athlete just did when they try to mimic something. So you're in a class and you see someone jump before you and you're like, okay, good, I got it. I'm gonna jump really high. And you go to jump and you don't go very far or very high, and it's because your nervous system's not used to it. You might not be as good of an athlete. Maybe you can't jump as well. Like, it's hard to mimic what you're seeing because you don't know exactly what you're seeing sometimes, and it's deceptive. With a great athlete, they can disperse and transfer energy so quickly from down and up to where you can't really recognize it sometimes. It's like hard to tell, and you're like, wait a second, what happened? I don't know what that guy just did, and then you try it and you suck at it. But it's because before they jump, they're able to really get into a quick position. A lot better than that, but before you think that this new vest from David Weck is dumb, I want you to question what has changed in running and racing over the last 5-6 years. It's been these carbon fiber foot plate super shoes that are allowing people to run, get way more mileage in, and get way more out of their training. So what is this thing doing? Doing the same exact goddamn thing the shoe is. In some sense, it's helping you to rebound off the ground, right? Woo! Holy fuck, that feels good. It's turned into a real workout. Oh my God. Oh, I just started. Oh yeah. I think that's the thing that's interesting about it. It's jamming you down on the ground more, which you'd be like, whoa, isn't that how everyone gets hurt running? And you're probably right. Probably is a lot of those, the eccentric landings. I think that maybe something like this can help you build resilience towards that and against that. Look at that, it says 330 right there. That's how much I used to weigh. 330, never looked so handsome. My mom still thought I was handsome at that weight. Yeah, kind of neurologically, it's tough for me to fire real fast. I get a little scared and nervous just because I haven't really done anything like that in a long time. It's kind of like it's making the noise of a professional athlete. You've seen a really good athlete hit a tennis ball, hit a golf ball, hit a baseball, throw a pitch, jump up and dunk a basketball. It's a thing of art, it's a thing of beauty, and it has a certain sound to it. When you see an amateur person go, someone with less experience, you're like, oh, that didn't have the same excitement, the same sort of, it's hard to explain. But this vest is making that noise a little bit because it's helping me with the kinetic energy. Kinetic energy is the stored energy that's in your muscles from the eccentric forces. So in this case, when I land, I then have to deal with, I weighed 222 this morning. I have to deal with 222 pounds of my body landing on the ground, plus whatever the gravity is, multiplied by whatever, divided by whatever. I got to be able to deal with that, respond, absorb, and then propel myself back up. For some people, that's really easy. A lot of it has to do with your strength to weight ratio. That's why it appears to be so much easier for people that are smaller sized. But a smaller sized person that's able to demonstrate that kind of power and that kind of recovery from a landing, they don't just weigh less than you, they have a better strength to weight ratio than you. Even if you bench 400 pounds and they can't bench 135, they still may have a better strength to weight ratio because you may weigh 250 pounds benching 405. So far this seems great. David had me testing his hand shakers for a long time, and I liked them a lot. His Pro Pulsars, they were a little cumbersome as a runner because as a runner, we always have these skimpy shorts, we never have pockets, and you know, we barely have a place for your phone, much less a lot of other stuff. So that was the only thing. Now he made something that you don't need to hold it in your hands. And so I think this is going to be a huge advantage. Let me get back to it. The vest is not uncomfortable at all. This is just a prototype. But even though it's just a prototype, it feels safe and comfortable. With the pace I have right here, my heart rate would be about 10 points lower. So the extra body weight is pulling on me in terms of my output. Doesn't feel like it's negatively impacting my breathing, which is nice. So it's not real restrictive, but it is starting to be a weight kind of on my shoulders. I definitely feel fatigued, and this is a lot earlier, you know, in a run than I'd normally get fatigued. Just ran about 3 miles in this new Weck vest. It should be called Running with Big Tits, I think. It's very bouncy, but it felt incredible. Originally I was like, oh, maybe I'll try to wear it, you know, every workout. Now I'm kind of thinking maybe like twice a week, just because it seems like kind of a lot. I kind of have a hunch that if I use this once or twice a week for about 20 to 30 minutes on just a normal run, I think it'll have a huge impact on my improvement. Adding this amount of body weight, I think, is really ideal. Adding anything like more than this, I think, is probably asking for some trouble. But I'll show you guys a little bit of the design of it. These cartridges, they stay in there really, really well. The vest didn't rub me, didn't do anything weird. I chose to wear a t-shirt under it today just so I didn't end up, you know, being aggravated or annoyed with it potentially rubbing on some spots that I didn't want it to, but the hype is real. David Weck knows what's going on. Been in the industry for decades now, probably going on like his 3rd decade. He's had a lot of great products. Obviously, he invented the Bosu ball. That's where people know him, and then people make the mistake of thinking that he's all about like doing tricks on one foot. But that's not the case. David is very intelligent, and I think he's somebody that recognized what many of us have recognized, is that strength is never weakness and weakness is never strength. However, the guys that spend so much time in the gym doing the traditional lifts, sometimes they kind of unathletic themselves. And so for particular sports, some of those people are making themselves worse, and even for life in general. You hear people say, oh, your back hurts because you have a weak back. Well, how do you say that to someone who has an 800-pound deadlift? You can overdo these things. All those movements are great. Yes, implement them. They can be super beneficial for gaining size and strength. But also, think about some of the unconventional. And for those of you that are out of sport, that haven't been in a sport in a long time, I really want to encourage you to run, jog, walk, do some drills in the gym, do some of your old football drills at the gym here and there, on some turf or at a track. Get yourself to be a little bit more athletic, and then get your ass back into a sport. Soccer, tennis, volleyball, pickleball. Yes, you can get hurt doing all those things, but get yourself in shape and then go do those things. And I think that you'll find that your fitness will just figure itself out. You don't have to sit there and think about it as much. You don't have to think about, oh gee, I have to do this today, I have to do that today. And it's this laundry list of things that you don't want to do, that you think you have to do. I got to work on my mobility. Oh, I got to work on my toes. Oh, I need to do something heart healthy, so I need to do cardio. Oh, I need to do something for strength. Now, when you start to train a little bit more for performance, all those things just happen. So train for performance, eat for performance. Strength is never weakness, weakness never strength. The David Weck vest is amazing. I can't wait to use it some more. Catch you guys later.